Phulaphuli, as it is a Monday, yazi bakabeke imivulo ke lolasuku abantu abaninzi ke bangalithandiyo kakhulu, kodwa ke xa uhleli nososifundi, I can assure you bakabeke Mondays will definitely not be the same. Kokhona ke senamkela kwabo ke whoever's just joined us at this moment. We're currently live on our Facebook as well as our YouTube page. The name is Upiwe Amanda Wakwatsiba. As we did mention kule veki phelileyo bangabeke namhlanje ke we would be in conversation sive from Best Bakes bangabeke tourism management and then also baking zidibene njani na along the road. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to a gorgeous lady esihleli naye ke namhlanje ke who comes from Best Bakes. Uzakhe naye kasicacisele uba ngaba ke kwa eli gama lithi Best Bakes lisuke laphi. Over to you, Sisifuni. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you?
Siyazama usemhle ntombi.
Good.
First things first, could you just kindly introduce yourself to us? Suspenje, just a big background about yourself. Bangamake, also, what inspired you to start the baking industry and eventually taking it and turning it into a business?
Okay, as you've heard, ndingufundiswa, ndizalwa ndingundwandwa, kodwa ngoku sendaba ngumulakalaka, uMrs. Ndizalelwa eGcuwa. Baking for me started as a hobby. And then it was a hobby because ndandingazithandi izinto ezibhakiweyo ezazithengiswa kwezi shophu zethu. So I thought bana ndizibhakele into yam, I will like it better. So that's how I started baking family yam. Not for any occasion, just every other weekend. It turned into a business. It was a spiritual journey. I don't think we have enough time for that.
But I'd love to actually hear about it because spirituality is actually one of your pillars as a keeping a secret, and if I actually enough time, would want to hear about it actually.
It was a spiritual journey to how it became a business because during that time, it was 2015, I went through a terrible dark period. Depression, undiagnosed. So during that time, I did a lot of introspection, trying to figure out what I needed to do with my life. Because before then, I had been working for my father as an undertaker, because I kaikwa kwenye funeral parlor. So tourism, undertaker, baking. So at that time, into undertaking, and I had nothing to do really. For a period, and I started to become depressed, feeling worthless and everything. So I started to do introspection through prayer and meditation. And that's when abanye abantu bazothi voice of God, abanye abantu bazothi it's the inner voice, but I had an epiphany that my main problem was not believing I could do the things I know that I had the ability to do. If somebody would ask me something, I would say, no, I can't do it, even though I knew I had the ability to do it because I had no confidence to do it. So I was given 3 rules that day. But from this point forward, whatever that's within your ability to do, you will not say no. You will do it without question. And number 2, you will never put yourself down for any reason. It does not matter what comes to your head about yourself. It will not be negative.
Positivity.
And number 3, always put God first in everything that you do. He will direct your path. This was 2015, end of the year. I made a cake for my family's Christmas party. I attended the Christmas party, and one of my husband's uncles tasted the cake. He sat me down and said that the last time I had cake was when your husband's grandmother was alive. She was also a baker. I thought the skill was lost in the family. Please do not stop, because with you, it has come back into the family. And I started degrading myself in that instant of that compliment. I was like, no. And then the voice came back, you will not say anything negative about yourself. And I retracted and I said, thank you. And I moved on. January, I decided to post the cake that I made for that Christmas function. And one of the first people that sent me a message, they asked, do you also make cupcakes? Could I order? I was about to say no, and then the voice came back again and said, you will not say no to anything that is within your ability to do. And I said, yes. After that, another message came in, could I order a cake as well? Could I order this? It was all in one day, and I took all those orders without ever having baked professionally. And that's how I started. January of 2016. So that was my spiritual journey from hobby to profession.
My goodness. And one would think, because I went through your socials the other day with Ukas and also my colleagues, and we're looking at the cakes you're baking. I'm just like, "Kude, we're going at you baked, you on your own." And I'm like, how does she actually do this? Like everything Yako is done to perfection. Like,
Thank you so much.
yinto yenza ngothando. Now let's actually find out about a memory that you could actually share with us that might have also contributed. In fact, not even one specific memory, but a couple of memories that might have contributed to you actually being a baker.
I think I've already mentioned one of the memories. It's my husband's
Yes.
uncle. Big influence in what ended up happening right now. And the second memory, it's my husband. He's always believed that I can do he believes that I can do anything, literally.
Yes.
So he would always push me, even before I started selling the cakes. He always tried to push me to sell, even before I started selling professionally, because he would visit me back at home and I would have the cake there because I used to bake them every other weekend. And he would try to convince me that, listen, this is sellable. You can sell this. So the memory of him always believing that I could do it and always believing that I could actually sell this, and I'm actually selling it, that catapulted everything for me also. Yes.
Oh, interesting. Talking about everything that has to do. Oh, in fact, before that, Sonondo Ndwe, they are joined by Sis Fezek May coming in. So, hi, Fundi, looking gorgeous. Behind you, there are some nice things there. And this is our producer, Wama Sundays, just itafile bangabeke izenganeno. Sizobona bangabeke namhlanje ke siphathelwe ntoni na. And I even want to find out specifically bangabeke even njenga the dish ezizengayo. Azinhle. Sisfundi, what do you have for us today? What's happening there?
Okay. This is Fundi's little box of delectables. Okay, this is a new product that I make. It's little dessert cups. You could get them in a small box and it will have like different varieties, or you could order a whole dessert table for a function.
Okay.
And then I can come up and set up for you, and everything looks really cute. Yeah, so it's just another way that I diversified in the business. Just instead of doing cakes and function cakes and novelty cakes, this is something else that I do.
Sisfundi, I feel like into yenzayo ngathi uzawuthi baphiwe uyatshata ndikhona to decorate everything of yours, because andifuna ukuthi amanzi Sisfundi khasenzele nje ikeke yomtshato nomyeni mhlawumbe abakhona nento ethi nowaphiwe ungafaka. Like, I'm looking at a lot that you're doing and I'm just like uthixo makabane bless on and on and on. Now, what are some of the flavors that are inside ukwenza usiphathele zona namhlanje?
We've got cheesecake with red velvet with passion fruit on top, and mint crisp dessert.
Oh, thanks.
We've got jelly with cream on top, and then we've got chocolate mousse domes on the side.
Now, what's your best seller in terms of even the flavors of the cakes?
Flavor-wise, people have raved about my lemon flavored cake.
No, behind the scenes. It's the one.
They raved about my lemon flavored cakes. I think that's the number one seller. And close after that is the red velvet, chocolate, and then vanilla. Yeah.
Goodness. Now, Sisfundi, where? Oh, wow. Yanga ukhona ke naye. Sithi sabaweli.
Of course.
Now, talking about even the comment of bangaba siyabaweli mhlambi umphulaphula kanye umuntu osendlini ngalo xesha uyafuna ukwazi bangaba ke bangaxhumaniseka naphi nawe in terms of even wanting to mhlambi umuntu athenge sikufumana phi?
I've got a WhatsApp number that you can contact me through. Can I say it on here?
Yes, it's strictly business.
458-9781. When you do contact me, you contact me with what you are looking for, what's the design, how many people you want to cater to, etc., etc.
Okay, interesting. I'll definitely just after sikubulate the interview sapina sneakers with those numbers. Sis Fezaka again get that lemon. You bestseller. No, we want to taste this lemon, definitely. Now, how do you actually stay innovative as well as keep your product offering exciting in such a competitive market, Siazi?
I listen to my current clients. I've got a client base that I've had ever since I started baking. I listen to them. I've got a clientele that has got a very complex palate, if you should call it that. They always push me to do something. If they see something anywhere, they will come back to me. This is what I want for my thing. I know you can do it. And that's how I discover some of the things that I need to do in terms of diversifying. Like, for instance, the dessert cups. I never used to make desserts, but it was a client of mine, an old client of mine, that came to me and said that for my child's thing, I want a dessert table. I was like,
yes,
a dessert table. I know you'll do it. So that's what I want. And that's what I did. And after that, the dessert table thing just started flying off the shelf. Like, I also want a dessert table. So it's the clients that keep me on my feet. I listen to them. I make sure that I open myself up to them. I don't close myself off, because that voice is still there that says whatever is in your ability to do, you will do. So do not say no offhand. So when they ask me these things, I first sit with it and put it through my system, and then I come back, yes, I can do that, once I've figured out how I would.
Also, uvuyos naye ke ukwelaqela ke lelamuni uthi uba ke the lemon nkosi yam ndiyazifela ngayo inene no uyabona beke ndacinga mhlawumbi kwathiwa lemon velvet no yabona le lamuni izimele nje yodwa. Now let's talk about future plans, say in the next couple of years. Where do you see your best bakes?
Bakery, for definite. I see myself opening a bakery. I see myself, it should have happened a long time ago if COVID did not push me out of the way. I would love to have a bakery. I would love to host kiddies classes over the holidays.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I would love to do such things. That's where I see myself, more than teaching adults how to bake. I see myself with the little ones over the holidays. But I know that I still have to have my adult class. I would love to teach my skill to somebody else.
Transfer skills.
Yes.
Talking about kiddies, I can imagine kuba masuba all day abantwana boqomba ingaseni can bathume man baye somewhere, so I can see them pha kwakho bebuye bebhake into ezizibili boxe ezimnandi. Now, how important is sustainability to your business model, especially also ubomise kubo ngoku? Kwakunye ke, could you also share with us your signature bake? Noba sichazela ngazo zonke into ezifakayo, but yiphi yona yakho?
Okay, my signature bake, the lemon cake.
What's in there?
I think the secret ingredients, I will not mention, but there is lemon. I use the freshest ingredients that I can get at any given time. I think that is my go-to thing. I hardly ever use synthetic or anything else that is made to taste like, made to look like. I use the freshest ingredients. And the trick is in the baking itself. Do not overbake, do not overmix. So whatever ingredients that you use anywhere you are, do not overmix, do not overbake, because that will give you a dry and very dense cake instead of it being light and fluffy. Yes, and moist.
And moist. Also, usintu ukhona ke sithi ke uba ngaba ke best baker ever ke ufaka in capitals kusithiwa ke from your favorite Ulisa. I'm looking at a couple of favorites. Looking at the support structure yakho, who is close to you that has been there since the get-go?
My husband has been there from the get-go. This gentleman here.
Hi, Buddy.
He's my delivery guy, the ingredient man.
Oh, man.
And if he would leave, he would leave with all my knowledge.
Oh, please don't leave. Please.
So they've been close to me from the get-go, and they've seen me through the hardest of it all. And yeah, they have been there.
They have been there.
My siblings also.
Oh, definitely. It's not about she. It's not about she. Now, when it comes to izinto and mental health, I can imagine when one starts to bake, probably bangabeke uyaziba lezinye izinto, but when you're going through the most, Mrs. Funi, how do you take care of your mental health yakho?
Ooh, that is a very good question
Mm.
because prior COVID, I believe I nearly had a mental breakdown. And it was due to the fact that I didn't take care of myself at all. I You sometimes do something that you love and you become popular with your clientele and you take on more than you can manage. That's the first thing. And the second thing, it's even if you take more than you can manage, you don't acknowledge when you are tired
Mm.
and when you are overwhelmed. You just try to push because you are raised to be strong.
So, okay.
You are raised to be strong, so you take it as you see fit. Especially since my dad was a businessman himself, and I've always seen him on the go, on the
Mm.
move all the time. So I thought that I would be that person for myself also. So I was on autopilot by the time they announced lockdown. I was on autopilot. I did not even know where I was at any given time. I was extremely out of it. So I would say that to take care of myself now, I balance between the workload I take in and my family time and my me time.
Mm. Mm.
I have found a space where I can just know this is my cap. I'm strict with how many orders I take at a time, and I'm strict with my downtime, the time that I have to sit and reflect and do administration. Because if you want to be sustainable in any business, one thing that I've learned is that you need to do your administration, and I need time for that. So it's one of my other memories as well that has got me to where I am. That a baker in Australia, it's one of the things that she would say that when she started baking, it was a hobby,
Mm.
and now it's a business. And one thing that she has had to learn was to do administration because she realized that she will never grow if she does not know how to do basic bookkeeping. So, as a business person, that is the basic thing that you need to do. If you say you're a business person and you have a passion that is baking, you need to combine the two and find
Yes,
a
dear.
balance
Mm. Mm.
where you can do the books and do the baking.
Find the balance in between.
Find the balance.
As we're about to wrap it up, ngawaphi amazwi ozawushiya nawo? Also, at the same time, I'd love for you to also encourage abo who are looking at you at this moment, probably mhlawumbi, there are times I always say, uba abantwana esikolweni sizawubafosa uba yenze lo, yenze into ethile, yiba ngugqirha. But you find that umntana is actually looking at doing something which is totally different. There might be even umntana osesikolweni ngelo xesha othi uba ngaba ke, I've always wanted to go into the baking industry. Qha ndoyika abazali okanye ke mhlawumbi ke, it's just that I need that leap of faith. And maybe listening to Sis Food and her story might just be the leap of faith that you're taking. Ungabakhuthaza uthini namhlanje abo bantu?
I would definitely say to them, take a path in the culinary arts. Let me put it that way. I wish I had gone to school for baking, for example. They don't have to follow my path of starting it as a hobby at home and then figuring it out as they go along. If they're in high school right now and they should go into hospitality, culinary arts, being a chef, because when you study to be a chef, as a byproduct, you learn how to bake. So you specialize. Therefore, after you study being a chef, you specialize in what department you want to go to, whether you want to go into pastries and whatnot. So I would say definitely go into school and study for it. It will be easier to even get your network situation going. And yeah, please do not do something that you're not passionate about. Go into the culinary arts.
And on social media, where can one find you?
I'm on Facebook as Best Bakes. I'm on Instagram as Best Bakes. And I'm on Twitter as Fundiswa Molakalaka.
Amoyikela Twitter. Yini. But thank you so much more than anything for joining us namhlanje, and we wish Best Bakes nothing but the best. We're definitely looking at that bakery and we will be there. Sinqonqoza sizisa orders zethu kwakhona ke singalibali baphulaphuli. Birthdays are coming up, and in fact not even specifically birthdays but any kind of event that you might have, and you know bangaba ke mhlambi ungathi hey mhlambi ayifuna ikeki le ifuna nje into ezimnandana. I know bangaba ke usisifundi will definitely be out there. Once more again sicela lo number
072 458 9781.
nizivele ke baphulaphuli kwakunye ke labanye who have joined us namhlanje ke thina ke we're doing radio according to Best Bakes, and all I can say is that quickly go search her on social media uzokwazi ukubona uba ngabe ke her work is most definitely amazing, and the taste abaphulaphuli bachilo uba ngabe ke that lemon one kuthiwa you will never go wrong with it. Ladies and gentlemen, the name is Upiwa Amanda Wakwadziba, and that was radio according to Sisfundi giving you Best Bakes.
Here comes